Okay, thank you, Tim. Good morning. We're excited about another great opportunity this week. Big challenge going up to VTech. Heck of a football team. That's the biggest thing I could say. We're very well coached, playing with a lot of physicality. You can tell that they've got a great belief in what they're doing. Again, well coached on both sides of the ball. Very good schemes, challenging in a lot of different ways. Very impressed with their quarterback. He's making good decisions. He's taking care of the ball. He's making plays with his legs. Their receiver, number 5, is leading our league. They do a great job of getting him the ball in a lot of different ways. And again, they have a physical mindset when it comes to running the football. That's what they want to do. And then here comes all the play actions and the max protections and shots downfield. Good job with their boots and SWAT boots. So we played them last year, obviously in the championship game, and we all know how that was a down to the wire game. So I got a lot of respect for their team and the talent on their team. Defensively, they're a handful. Bud does an awesome job in giving you a lot of different looks and disguises, and they play a little unique coverage, what we call robber coverage. There's some uniqueness to that. You don't really see much of that, so it's kind of unique to them. They understand all the nuances of it. So just a big challenge all the way around. They had a big special teams, faked a punt on us last year. It was one of the big plays in the game. Virginia Tech's always been a program that has really prided themselves on special teams. So that's an area that we've got to just do a great job with. Could be the difference in the game. So, just a complete football team. When I look at them, I think that they've got the mindset that you need. I think they've got good schematics on both sides. They're well coached, and they got good people. This will be a heck of a matchup, and then obviously it's a great place to go play a game. We're looking forward to that. It's been a while since we've been up there, but I got a lot of respect for the Virginia Tech people and how they support their team, and look forward to being a part of it. With that, I'll take some questions.
Do you use their quarterback any different guy this year, but do they use him any different?
Not really. They're gonna run him. He's a very efficient thrower. He's one of the most efficient guys out there, I think, right now. He's making good decisions. He's not turning it over. He throws the ball well on the move, and he's done a nice job, giving his guys good chances at those 50-50 balls. And a lot of their speed motion stuff, and next thing you know, it's max protection. You got one guy on a double move route, and he's put the ball where he needs to be. He's made some big plays, and then he's made equally as big plays in the run game. You go back to I think it was the West Virginia game, late in the game. He broke one, all the way down. It was probably 50 plus yards, 60 yards, on a zone read power. And so they do a good job, again with their scheme, because they stress you. They stress you horizontally and vertically. They make you really do a good job of having to be disciplined, set the edge, and then boom, here comes the guard pulling, and they're going to gash you right down the middle. So it's a lot of they do a lot of similar things that we do, to be honest with you. And he's very effective running the ball.
Edmond and Fields and Bowling.
Edmond is probably still not going to be able to go. I think he's probably going to be out another week. He is getting better. Mullen is in the protocol, so I don't have anything to do with that. I have no idea. That's just kind of day by day type of thing. And then Mark will practice today and see where he's at.
Having already beaten Auburn and Louisville, how much confidence does that give you and the players that this is a team that can beat another ranked team away from home on a big stage?
Yeah.
Again?
Well, every game is sometimes that past performance doesn't mean we're going to go play well this time on the road, but I think it gives you anytime you can draw from experience, it can kind of give you an understanding of what to expect. And when you take a team on the road to Louisville early in the season, a bunch of new guys that haven't played on the road, that's a really good experience. Now, in the fact that we won the game, that's great, but you got to go play well, and but the experience is definitely good. Early in the season, you're kind of leaning on your veteran guys to kind of create the mindset that you got to have. So now those young guys have been in that, and they can hopefully draw a little bit from it. But it's a different place, different team. You got to focus on just playing well.
Because these early tests, you have a feel, even though it's only late September, you have a feel at this point of the makeup of the character of your team, whether they're comfortable on a big stage away from home, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we're battle tested. I mean, we've played. We've played 2 top 15 teams. One of them at their place, and then we played a tough Boston College team, physical. So I mean, we've had our noses bloodied. We've had to respond to some adversity. It hasn't been just all rosy. So I like the way our team has responded in those situations. I really do, and hopefully that's something we can continue to grow from. But we're still kind of growing into the team that I think we can be. We're a confident team, but we're also a team that knows that we got to play well and that we got to keep improving. And it's not going to get any easier. I mean, every week for us is the biggest game of the year, and that's the mindset we have. So this week will be another big challenge.
Coach, you've got some key players from the state of Virginia, Cleveland, and Kayvon, and Chad Smith, Jordan Williams, another guy from Virginia. How special do you think it is for those guys to be able to go up and play in Blacksburg?
Oh, it's always great. Anytime you can go and play in your hometown, home state, it's fun. Cleveland will actually be one of our captains this week, so I know he's excited about that. But it's great. We recruit guys from all over, the Southeast, just this whole footprint that we're in, and I know it's always special for those guys to have an opportunity to play in front of their home folks.
Yeah, but is playing on the road kind of a mindset, or is it about talent, or kind of a mixture of both?
I mean, it's really not anything different playing at home, in my opinion. I mean, I've always been of the mindset that, if you're a good player, you're a good player wherever. It shouldn't matter what the weather is or what stadium you're in or what color your uniforms are. If you're a good player, you're a good player. And championship teams and great players, they don't get distracted by those external factors. I think that there is a certain mindset that you have to have when you go on the road, and now all of a sudden you've got a lot of energy against you, and you've got to learn how to channel that and not get distracted by it in order to play well. It's a lot of mental toughness that you got to have to be able to go and win on the road. But I just think, again, I think if you're a good team, you're a good team. Wherever. You shouldn't just play well at home. You shouldn't just play well at night. You shouldn't just play well with a certain uniform. I mean, you just play well regardless. And sometimes you have a bad night. Last year we got beat at home. We didn't. Pittsburgh outplayed us, and we didn't quite do some of the things that we'd like to have done, and we got beat. But I don't really get too caught up in we're on the road. I enjoy going on the road. I think it's fun to kind of pack it all up and see different places and see how you do.
Clemson has always run the ball, but this year you're about 61%. Is that the vision you had when you started the program?
Well, I mean, I've always been a guy that has always tried to gear ourselves toward balance. I think the best football teams can have some balance built into what they do, and I think the best teams can run it when they need to, sometimes, and then the best teams can throw it when they want to, and throw it when they have to, and so we've always also been a team that tell us what you're going to give us, and we're going to take that. We're going to take what you give us, and if you're going to be a team that's like last week, that's going to line up and just say, hey, you're not going to throw the ball down the field, and see if you can put some drives together, especially when you got the ball on the 10-yard line. And so we're going to give you the numbers to run, but let's see if you're good enough to do it. Well, I love the fact that we can run the ball for 342 yards against tough physical people. And so that is definitely, I think, from day one, I think you have to be able to run the football, and you have to be able to stop the run. If you can't, you're in for a long season. You know, when you can run the football, then you have explosives that come off of that. Now, again, there's certain times where, who did we play last year? I guess it was Pittsburgh. I think it was Pittsburgh. They just weren't going to let us run the ball. I mean, so we're not going to sit there and be stubborn. We're going to take advantage of what they're giving us an opportunity to do, and I think we had 630 yards. I think we threw the ball for like 580 yards. But that's what that game dictated. But over the course of the season and the end of the year, I would like to look back and see some type of balance, because I think that makes you tough to defend, and I think it creates confidence in your offensive players that you can do what you need to do in whatever situation to win a game. And if you're too one-dimensional, in my opinion, somewhere along the line, somebody's going to be good enough to take that away. And but you know, as of now, after 4 games, you know, I'm really pleased with how we've been able to run the football.
Over the last 5, 6, 7 years, how do you think Foster has adapted to sort of the new age spread?
Well, you know, I think he was kind of always a little bit ahead anyway. He's always been that 4-2-5 kind of a guy. He's always played a hybrid scheme. So from a personnel standpoint, I think he was kind of always there. I just think he's tried to recruit more athletic guys, longer guys that can do, you know, play in space. And you look at some of these corners they've had some big time corners, you know, come out of there. And this is a really good secondary that we're getting ready to play. And I'm very impressed, you know, with their back 7 guys, and then the guys up front. You know, they don't have quite the depth because they got some young guys as a part of their depth, but their first, you know, 5 or 6 guys, really good players.
You feel like these may be 2 of the top defensive coordinators in the country with what Venables and what Foster have been able to do?
Well, I mean, I think, you know, their background speaks for itself. I mean, they're certainly 2 of the best, if not the best. I mean, I think consistency is what you look for. And, you know, to be great at something, you got to do it for a long period of time and be very consistent. And Brent is the epitome of that, and so is Bud. Two outstanding coaches.
How do you come out, especially against a Bud Foster defense, and be the offense that showed up in the fourth quarter last week, or that was there for the Louisville game, as opposed to the offense that was held to 7 points for much of the BC game? Yeah,
well, I think the first thing we've got to do is we've got to you know, run our offense within the scope of what the defense is allowing. We've got to be good decision makers, and you know, it starts with our quarterback. He kind of makes us go, that's for sure. We got to win the matchups up front. We got to get them identified. This is a different scheme than what we saw last week. So they've got some exotic type of different stuff where you've got to do a good job of identifying these guys. Sometimes they'll drop and play coverage from a certain look, and sometimes from that same look, you know, here they're coming. And you know, they'll give you anything from cover 3 to robber to cover 0, and you have to be able to identify that. And you know, play fast, play with tempo, take care of the ball. You know, that hurt us last week. Had a couple of turnovers, and you know, wasn't able to finish on a couple of those drives because of it. So you got to take advantage of your opportunities against a defense like this. And go back and look at it last year. We played pretty good most of the stretch of the game, but they did a heck of a job. You know, toward the end, they made some adjustments, and then we had a turnover and had a big special teams play. They busted a big play on our defense. Next thing you know, you're fighting for your life. So just taking advantage of opportunities when they present themselves, you got to make it count. So he don't give you a whole lot.
Traditionally, many teams play with 5 offensive linemen. Y'all are different. You're rotating. Last time I checked, I think you had 8 with 98 snaps or more. How do you do that?
Just play them. Just put them in there. I mean, we got good players, and they deserve to play. I mean, we we got a bunch of guys that could go and start for us. I wouldn't even hesitate. I mean, Ankrum and Pollard have both started. They're both starters in my mind, and they both deserve to play. So they're going to get their opportunities to play. They work hard in practice. They're committed guys. I mean, Taylor Hearns played great at guard, but John Simpson he's a great player. He probably had his best game this past week. He played 30-something snaps, I believe. So, you know, that's just what we do. Taylor Hearns jumps out there and plays some tackle, and he's a very good tackle. So, you know, we've got good depth and good. That's one of the things I said in the preseason. I think we're going to have more depth, flexibility, and versatility in our offensive line than we've ever had. So I'm really pleased with that group. But we just play them. I mean, we believe in them. So it's not like we're just waiting to play a guy when we got a lead. We play them in critical situations, and you've seen that with a lot of positions on this team this year. That's one of the things that I think we're blessed with is we got a bunch of functional guys that can go play. So that we trust.
Coach, yesterday, Coach went to likened your offense to try and defuse a bomb. One wrong snip of the wire and boom, your hands get blown off. I'm curious your thoughts on that analogy and how would you describe Virginia Tech's offense?
That sounds just like Justin. Well, I think that, we're a good team. I mean, he's a coach, and he's getting ready to play a good team, just like I'm a coach, and I'm getting ready to play a great team. We're two teams that are still undefeated, and two teams that pride themselves on trying to play well. And so, same thing for us. You know, if we're with all, especially with their offense. I mean, you know, they got guys going everywhere, and if you don't have your eyes on the right thing, if you're peeking in the backfield and you're distracted by all the stuff that's going on, there goes that tight end on the swap boot right behind you, and you're running up, you know, on a run fake, and it's a big play. So, you know, it's the same. I'd say it's the exact same. You know, we've got to do a great job, and you got to be right where you need to be. Your eyes have to be where they need to be. Your alignment has to be where it needs to be, and then same thing on the offensive side. We've got to all be on the same page, because just as soon as you don't, your quarterback's hit. You know, you've got a turnover, and so it's a really good matchup.
Even though Evans and Ford and Hodges are gone, can you guys still use that last year's ACC title game as kind of a roadmap for how to defend Justin's style of offense?
Well, I mean, it's a different team for sure. Both teams were different. I mean, there's no question about that. But I mean, they're still do a lot of the same things. We still do a lot of the same things. You got to be able to stop it. You know, I think anytime you play people, you have a little bit of familiarity with personnel and things like that. But it's still a different team, you know, both ways. And it's really all about this game.
Coach, with Alex, is his range on field goals pretty close to Hugel's? I know he made a 51-yarder in August, but I imagine you wouldn't want to put him in there for, you know, a long field goal early in the game on the road in a place like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's made. I think the longest he's made in practice is maybe 53, but he's got plenty of leg to do what we need to do, and you know, but that's about, you know, depending on what we needed and where we are in the point of the game, but that's probably his limit there.
Were you a little surprised the other day? You guys struggling a little bit on offense. You had some groans coming out of the crowd the other day. Did that surprise you a little bit?
No, I mean, I said they booing us, boys. They booing us. You know, it's used to seeing explosiveness and things like that, but it just wasn't that type of day. And again, field position, and you know, it just comes with the territory. It really does. I mean, but I'm never going to apologize for a win, and I'm never going to allow our players to not appreciate a win. Now, if the fans don't appreciate it, then that's their decision. But I know this from the guys in that locker room, we're going to always appreciate how hard it is to win. And 3-2, 69, 68, they all count the same. You move on to the next one, and you try to get better each and every week. And, you know, other teams have good players, good coaches, full scholarships, pride, off-season programs. There's a lot that goes into it. But I loved that game Saturday. I loved it. I mean, I really did. And what happened in the fourth quarter was a result of the first three quarters. I mean, it was awesome to be able to win a game like that. And, you know, I'll take it every week. But if we ain't happy about a 14-7 win or a 34-7 win, and we might need to rethink things. But I have a great appreciation for how hard it is to win. I mean, and that's why we celebrate every win, every single win. There's no style points. We just try to find ways to win games each and every week. And, most of the time we have, and if we don't, you know what? We know we got to get better, and let's go find a way to get back on track.
How important was it for Kelly in his maturation to face an opponent that maybe did some things that weren't showing up on film and covered and take some things away?
Yep.
You have to adjust to that.
Yeah, it was good because we were able to coach him on some things. He didn't manage the pocket very well at all. I mean, they're playing all this coverage, and so now all of a sudden, he's dropping and it's hitch. He's holding the ball. But because now it's a whole different deal, and so great opportunity to coach him, because there were some different looks, and then to see him get, he's a little frustrated because you want certain things, but it's just not there. And now you kind of get out of your rhythm a little bit, and to see him kind of manage that and bounce back, it's great, man. I mean, you got to go through stuff like that. I mean, that's just how you get better. You got to grow. You got to, and I thought he did a great job. I mean, a really great job. And I thought our coaches did a great job, as far as like, okay, well, it's just the way it's going to be. And taking what was there, and then we made just enough big plays when the opportunities presented themselves to do what we needed to do. But it was a good game for him from a teaching standpoint. It really was an opportunity to coach him on some things that we really hadn't had a chance to do just yet, because every game presents different challenges, and I thought he responded really, really well.
Is the challenge different this week with a guy who's got a proven track record? You kind of know basically what he's going to do, that maybe you feel more confident preparing him before the game starts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always, I mean, you can prepare. I mean, he ended up playing us a little different in the championship game last year. He didn't play near as much robber coverage as we thought he might. You just got to make the adjustments as you get into the flow of the game. But, that's football. Sometimes you got video evidence and you go with what you've seen, and that's how you prepare, and you study what they've done to other people that do what you do, and you try to come up with a game plan, and you get into the games, and sometimes it's a little different. You gotta make adjustments, and we've got a system that has answers. We just gotta process it the right way and trust it.
This team's inexperience at the beginning of the year. You had Kent State, but then this looks to be a 4th straight week of a fist fight. Is that good for this team? And how will it help you at the end of the year when you have that championship in November?
Well, I think in this league, we just know we're going to play good people every single week. Every single week, we're going to play good folks. And so, and the biggest thing is every day at practice. Today, Tuesday practice, is going to be a tough practice. We're going good on good inside, good on good O versus D, good on good team pass, full speed, good on good Skelly, one-on-ones. I mean, that's just what we do. And so I think that we just have that mentality what you got to have on game day each week. But I definitely think as you get battle tested throughout the course of a season, it makes you better. And we're fortunate to be 4-0. Hopefully we can be 5-0 and have an unbelievable September. But if it doesn't go our way, you move on to the next one. You go to October, and you draw from all the experiences. Same thing last year. You just try to keep coaching, keep working, keep getting guys in the right places, and keep learning about your team. But this group has responded well. I mean, again, they've been in some. It's been tough. They've had some emotional moments. They've had big plays go against them. We've had some physical matchups, and we played against unbelievable quarterback in Lamar. We played against great defenses, so we've seen a lot in 4 games, and so I definitely think that helps prepare you for the totality of the season.
Is it personality of this team emerged yet, where you get a sense that they like these kind of big games, or they don't shy away from being everyone's target this year? Have you kind of get a sense of if there's a certain?
Well, I mean, we've been a target for a long time. You know, it's just that's just. I mean, it's not just this year. I mean, we know we're going to get everybody's best here. That's just the way it is. So that's something that we definitely embrace week in and week out. And that's why we don't really spend a lot of time on the opponent. We spend our time just getting ready for what we see, and because it's just a given. Whoever we're playing, you just best believe whatever we're going to get the best version of that team every week, and you either embrace that or you don't. And I'm very proud of our teams over the past several years. They embrace that.
You need to learn whether this group of guys could rise to that
Yeah,
challenge.
well, I mean, they're doing a good job, you know, so far. They've worked hard and shown up and had great attitudes, and they've been coachable, and guys take pride. You know, we take a lot of pride in our grades around here, and it matters to guys. They want to play well. They care about their teammates, and you know, hopefully that'll continue.
Coach,